Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's another English studies class on the CTY Module College Ibadan Oyo State e-learning portal. Our topic for today is spoken English, phrases commonly used in speech. Spoken English, phrases commonly used in speech. This topic can be found on pages 194 and 195 of your NUSEC JS2 textbook. Pages 194 and 195 of your NUSEC JS2 textbook. By the end of this lesson, we should be able to identify phrases commonly used in speech and also identify common collective nouns commonly used in speech. Listen as I read the following passage. If you stand on the shore of the Atlantic in some parts of the Nigerian Delta, you may see swarms of fingerlings and shoals of fish as they swim along the coast. They are like the herd of cattle you sometimes see in many parts of northern Nigeria. Of course, the coastal water has to be as clear as crystal for you to see the water creatures, and the sight can be very exciting. Some of the fish would occasionally soar up out of water and you would wish to catch them, but they immediately drop back into the sea. And the water is not always so clear, and you may stand for a long time and see nothing because the water is muddy. A swarm of fingerlings. Now notice the phrases in bold print. A swarm of fingerlings, a shoal of fish, swarm of bees, swarm of locusts. In these phrases, shoal and swarm, also herd of cattle, are collective nouns. So what is a collective noun? A collective noun is a noun word that is used for a large collection of an object or the thing it refers to. The objects are so many that one cannot easily tell their number, or objects may be uncountable. A collective noun is a noun word that is used for a large collection of an object or the thing it refers to. When we have a large collection of objects, too numerous for us to count, then we use a word to capture the whole quantity. This word that we use to refer to this large collection of any object or thing is known as a collective noun. The objects are so many that one cannot easily tell their number, or the object may be uncountable. For example, you can only speak of a pool of water or a pinch of salt. You cannot say 10 salts or 20 waters. It's not possible. We can't count water, neither can we count salt. So we use collective words like pool, pinch, a pool of water, a pinch of salt. So below are examples of collective nouns commonly used in speech. Some have been extracted from the passage I read earlier. We have swarms of fingerlings, shoals of fish, swarm of bees, herd of cattle, bevy of ladies, flock of sheep, flight of stairs, bouquet of flowers, sea of herds, convoy of cars. Listen as I read the sentences on page 194 to you. There was a bevy of ladies at the party. There was a bevy of ladies at the party. Audu has a large flock of sheep. The little boy ran up the flight of steps to reach the top. The visiting president was presented a bouquet of flowers. At the stadium, you see a sea of heads. The governor came in a convoy of cars. We have below several collective nouns. Look up the meaning of each in your dictionary. Make your own sentences with them. Read the sentences aloud. A fleet of cars, or a fleet of sheep, a fleet of aeroplanes, an array of flowers, a row of houses, a pile of garbage, a pile of papers, a flight of birds, a brood of chickens, a brood of ducklings, a beehive of activities. Listen to me as I read another passage, which consists of another kinds of phrases we commonly use. These are not collective nouns, but phrases that we commonly use when we make speeches. Listen as I read the passage below. A certain man in the East is said to be as rich as Croesus. Around his house is an array of flowers, yellow, white, pink, purple, and one other which is not rose but is as red as rose. He has a swimming pool at the back. Its water is as clear as crystal. Each of the phrases in bold print describes something by saying that it is like something else. For example, one kind of rose flower is red, but another flower is described as being like rose. These are more utterances in which this kind of phrases is heard. Listen as I read them. Learn and use them yourselves. The president of our country is as wise as Solomon. The panther is not quite as fierce as a lion. The dress she wore was as white as snow. The tortoise is as cunning as a fox. Dad is never angry. He is always as cool as a cucumber. Below are more phrases like those in F, which I just read, for describing things, animals, people, etc. Look up their meanings in your dictionary and make sentences with them. As patient as Job, as pleased as Punch, as quick as silver, as quick as mercury, as dry as the Sahara, as straight as a pin, as easy as ABC, as dark as the night, as good as gold, as dead as a dodo, as dead as a doornail, as brave as a lion, as learned as a judge. We also have a galaxy of stars. These are collective nouns. A galaxy of stars, an archipelago of islands, an army of soldiers, as hard as cold iron, as hot as fire. There are other kinds of phrases that have been abstracted from what I've just read that are commonly used. Examples: as rich as Croesus, as red as rose, as clear as crystal, as wise as Solomon, as fierce as a lion, as white as snow, as cunning as a fox, as cool as a cucumber. These are not collective nouns, but they are phrases describing something and they are commonly used in speech. The topic we just learned is spoken English, phrases commonly used in speech. And we learned that when we have objects that are in large collection, that are too numerous to be counted or they are uncountable, we use certain noun word to refer to them, and these noun words are known as collective nouns. And we gave several examples like swarm of fingerlings, shoals of fish, swarm of bees, herd of cattle, bevy of ladies, flock of sheep, flight of stairs, bouquet of flowers, sea of heads, convoy of cars. We also explained that We have another kind of phrases that are commonly used in speech. They are used to describe things as being like others. And we give examples like as rich as Croesus, as red as rose, as clear as crystal, as wise as Solomon, as fierce as a lion, as white as snow, as cunning as a fox, as cool as a cucumber. There are so many others on this topic lands, which can be found on pages 194 and 195 of your NUSEC JS2 textbook. This brings us to the end of the lesson for today. Your assignment, inshallah, will be uploaded on the CTY Model College e-learning portal. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.